very thoroughly. So anything that gets in the way and one thing is bending the back should not be done. So it's not important how much you go down. It's important how well you exhale the air. That is the main thing. The movement is a servant for that. Okay? All right. So now we start a little bit of our usual warm-ups. And the other. You can also keep the in front what you feel more comfortable with. Then together. I am so used of using this that I always use it. Then the knee. So now we will do then warm-ups focused on the first two of the yantras, the Cobra and the Trigu. Okay. But always some of the general we apply. This, for example, is already helping training for the next one. For the third, for the close hold. Because warming up before doing it is one aspect. But training to be able to do it better is another aspect. It means that you do the warm-up for a certain period of time, it helps you doing the yantra better. And then when you do the yantra better, automatically also you train in doing it better. So it's not everything at the moment. There is also some training and preparation. So here we try to stay with the back straight. And then if we can, we put our hands in front. Okay. Now we come up, if we can. Otherwise, we stay down. And if you come up, you try to go also like this. You see, with the feet together, and stay on the feet like this. You can support yourself. And then maybe I'll open a little bit. Keep just the heels together and try to get some balance. Try to keep the back straight and move the knees back as much as possible. Try not to stay like this, but to go really, really opening. Okay, now we can move back. Shake a little bit. Like shake, I don't know if the right word, shake the muscles. Probably there is a better word. And now, no, let's first do this. Inhale and exhale if you want to coordinate the breathing. And now we do one movement, a new warm up. You keep the leg straight, then inhale and try to put it at your forehead. Exhaling, go down, inhaling, forward, exhaling at the center of the body. In, out, in, out. And then the other side. In. You don't have to try to straighten the leg. No, the leg stays bent. So it's a minimum circle. And do not try to put the forehead on the foot, but try to put the foot on the forehead, keeping the back as straight as possible. Okay. Now we move back. And let's stretch. We have to give it a little time. Then the other side. Okay. Ankle under the knee. We lean forward from the navel. And remain like this. Without pushing it. Wait for the body to release and move, but you don't intentionally push it down. And then inhale and exhale. And now we switch. Of course, when we do the warm-ups, we can do warm-ups static, warm-ups in movement. When we do the yantras, the only moment we don't move is when we hold in the position. But even then, very often there is some stretching, some tension, there is something that is not really, really static. It is important to train some forward bending because many yantras, the final phase, and if you do it in sequence, and the initial phase of the next is this position. And even though it's a short movement, always move down the navel. Breathe, relax, don't block the breathing. Okay. Now we move to the ground. First, relax. Swing a little bit from one side to the other. And then close, exhaling, stretch, inhaling. Always the back we have to prepare. More we are trained and less warm-ups we might need. Now inhale, coming up, exhale, closing, inhale, go up, down, exhaling. Generally, the warm-ups ideally is doing the 6 direction, bending forward, arching backward, turning one side, turning the other side, stretching one side, and stretching the other side. When I say turning, is twisting. Twisting, twisting, back, front, side, side. These 5 kind of movement. 6, sorry, not 5. So now, for example, we do the twisting. We go to the side, and then open. There are many others, of course, but I stick with a routine of simple ones that I know are really effective. And this one, as I repeated many times, is also good for opening very well the breath. Just breathe in a relaxed way. Then turn to the other side. Okay, roll to the center. Shake a little bit. And then put the sole of the feet together, down, and try to open. And maybe you move a little bit like this forward to arch a little bit the lower back so the knees come down a little more. Okay, and you come back up, turn around, and move to the ground. If you find uncomfortable being like this with the chin on the ground, then you can put your hands like this and put your forehead on your hand. But if you can, this is better. Inhaling and exhaling. Let control stress. Okay. And then you do what we were doing before. Try to do the same, but we are reversed. Try to put your soles of the feet together and on the ground without lifting the belly, without lifting the navel from the ground. This is not easy. And if you feel strain in the neck, you do like this. Probably, maybe people remain here. Well, remain a little bit there. Let gravity help you slowly, slowly. If you can, you stay down. Okay. Go back. Relax straight. forehead on the ground, the hands at the side of the chest. And then you inhale coming up. And exhale, sitting down. Inhale, coming on all fours. And exhale, lowering first on the thighs, and then the rest of the body. So inhale. The head is bringing up the body, then curve, arch, in all fours here, and then sit down, keeping the arms straight. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, if you can, I show you a movement. This is good for the back. It's really nice and good. It's not necessarily super easy, but might create a little confusion with how it starts the first of the yantra of the second group that we are doing today. Just remember that we have to remember two different things. It's not complicated, really. Okay, so this movement is like this. We are if possible, we are sitting on our heels and the arms are stretched forward. The forehead is on the ground. Okay, remember this position. So now, if you can, you move, keeping the forehead down all the way, and then come up, inhaling and exhaling. Here you inhale up until here, and then exhaling, going back. And there is not so much strength, because you see, it's not that we need to strength here a little bit to come up. It's more that you try to keep your forehead down, and you have to try to keep your feet together. If they tend to open a little bit, that is not such a problem. But if you have to separate it, it's not the same thing. So if it's possible, keeping the feet together. Now I show you a couple of times. And here, when you start to exhale, basically you go back to the position of before. Here you will come up and then start exhaling. Now you bring down the head between your arms and counter arch up and sit. Okay, so this one is a very good warm up for the spine. Is really good, and is preparing for the Cobra. Then we do a little bit this position, and we turn. One foot, one leg down, one knee down, one foot in front of the ankle, just at the level of the ankle, just in front, where the foot does like this, and try to keep the back straight. With the hands, you can keep it like this, you stay a little higher, and then push yourself straight. And here, you grab like this, so that you stay really compact. Breathe. And then we change. The heels close to the perineum. This one just in front. Grab it and stretch. Okay, so you see why we have been training all these movements like this, because we really need those. So we go back here for a little while. In this case, try to keep very close your perineum to the heels as much as you can, and the back straight. Don't force it, don't push it beyond your capacity. Just get there, and without trying to push it, remain. Now we come back, one foot in front, and we go forward. Inhale and exhale. Remain a little bit. Remember always to move down from the navel, not with the head, but the root of the spine. And then we try to go down a little more, if possible. And ultimately, you might be able also to put your forehead on the foot. Then you come up gently. And we go to the other side. Close. Far away. 2 spans. Then lean forward from the base of the spine. Relax. And let go down a little more if possible. And be sure you breathe smoothly. And finally, if it's possible, we put the forehead on the foot. And then come back slowly. And then with both. Move forward. Basically, we have been doing some warm-up addressing everyone for the next yantras we have to do. We come back, and now we look at the Cobra. So this is the yantra for the open hold. Open hold, we have already seen is what you apply in the first 2 of the 8 movements. It means we have to keep the air inside without blocking it, without constricting. Generally, yantra for open hold are yantra where there is an extension of the chest. Because somehow open hold happens when we are full. And you have air that has been expanded and is expanding in the chest. So when you hold, you need not to block it. Because if you block it, you cannot apply the second of the holding, that is the directing hold, and you cannot apply the third, that is the close hold, and you cannot apply the fourth, that is the contracted hold. So the first kind of hold is open. You just let it there. Expand and let space. The second group of yantra, being related to the breathing of the rhythm, has a different characteristic from the other groups, because the rhythm has this peculiarity of the exhalation be divided in two. Two is the actual exhalation, and two is the empty hold. So in all the yantras of the second group, after the holding, there is exhalation in two and empty two. Is divided half and half exhalation. Okay? Because it's related to the rhythm. So it's the same structure of the exhalation. Now I show you how is the Cobra. Oh, another characteristic of the Cobra that is really the same thing we have in the first of the 8 movements, that while we are holding open, we have to go in Chun Cell. So the body should be thoroughly tense. Actually, it's through this tension that we really like in the first of the 8 movement, we held the held air to stay open, and then we get the right shape to the body. While the basic rhythm of the breathing in the 8 movement is 2, inhale 2, exhale 2. Here in the yantras, the basic rhythm is 4. Inhale 4, exhale 4. Sometimes is 6 and 2, but generally the unit is 4, is not 2. So it's longer the breath of the breathing than the 8 movement. Here there is no men and women, we all do in the same way. Okay, this is the yantra. Now I explain step by step. First, we inhale for 4 counts and just go, bringing the arms along the side of the head and open the shoulders. Then we exhale in 2 counts, going in the position we are before, stretching the arms all the way in front and putting the forehead on the ground. And the feet together, and you should actually be sitting on your heels. These are the first 2 movements, inhaling and exhaling. In, 4 counts, exhaling. This first part is 2, because that's the first part of the exhalation. But it's important you understand very well this. Inhale, 4 counts, exhale, again, you move from the navel and stretch in 2 counts. This, if you stretch well enough, that is the point where you are supposed to have your hands when you then go down, like this. The elbow not open like this, but more close to the body, and the chin on the ground. Another way to know what is the specific point that is in the text is to put your elbow on your knees and then measure two spans. 1, 2. And if you see, is exactly the same point. Same. But it means you should really stretch quite well. It's not so easy. And even when we can do this, then go into the position is not so easy. So we have two alternatives. We have the alternative, if you cannot really go there, when you go here, then you have to move a little bit your arms forward. And then you finish the exhalation, bringing the chin on the ground and the arms at the side of the chest. And if it's necessary, again, as I said, you move it a little forward anyway, if it's necessary, because then you have to go up, inhaling, to the point where you are with the arms straight, the feet are together, and the root of the thigh should be together, down on the ground, or the base of the pubis, not the navel. The navel, no, but the root of the thighs, or you can consider the pubis, this area should be touching the ground, not above. For that reason, maybe, Jenna, you need to move a little forward the arms, because the arms should be straight. And then you are in this position, you come up controlling nicely the body, but somehow, if you do it really nicely, it's like the head is lifting the body up. You don't need too much effort with the arms. And then when you are here, you actually push nicely the root of the thigh on the ground. Don't let close the shoulders. The head is going back, is stretching the body. And in doing this, you actually applying Chun-Sel, like in the first of the 8 movements. It means the whole body is completely tense, really completely tense. But you see, I'm doing it, I'm talking, because it's completely tense, and exactly this tension can allow you to keep the held air inside open. Then exhaling 2 counts, bringing the forehead on the ground, remain 2 counts empty. And now to go back, if you have brought the hands a little bit forward, you bring it back again. Bring it back a little bit, so that when you go back, it's much easier. Otherwise, you might end up doing like this. So it's much better and more elegant to bring the hands back, so that you can finish the movement more elegantly, with more grace. So I repeat. Inhaling, arms along the side of the head, shoulders open. It means somehow you have a little bit. That's why when people, they do some system of yoga, they're used to do this. Well, in Yantra, you have to do this, because you have also to open the chest. 1 second. And then 2 counts, you start exhaling 2 counts, hand down, forehead on the ground, 1 moment, just touch. And then continue to finish the exhalation and the chin down in front, legs together. Okay, now let's see this one a little more. Remember the movement we did before, this one is not like this. Some people get confused even without doing that warm up. They get confused and they keep doing it like this or like this. But it's not. It's much more simple. You inhale and then exhale and then come up. Like we have done this warm up before. You see? You come up and then go down. Exactly that we did before. Up and down. The chin. Try to remember that. Don't try to crawl. Come up and move down again. But first, we touch with the forehead on the ground. That is the movement. Okay. I hope it is clear. Let me think if there is something else can be useful. No, mostly this is all. Inhale, 4 counts. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Open hold. Exhale, 2. Empty, 2. Hands back. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Or like this. This also you can eventually exhale like this. Especially some people have some little problem in the back. Coming down first like this is easier. Now, some people might think, but this is strong for the back. Well, in reality, it's a medicine, this position for the back. Even in let's say, in Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, is considered one of the most important asana is this one, is Bhujangasana. Is one of the most important. And here, if you do it well, keeping the feet together and anchoring the root of the thighs on the ground and really thoroughly stretching like there is a current going from the heels to the head that keeps stretching and tensing the body is really very powerful for the back. Now, if people cannot do that position like this, so the alternatives are 2. One is to move even more and doing something like this. But then you have to see if it makes sense, because if you have to go like this, then there is no more the arching of the body. So you have to see a little bit how it looks like, because there should be this kind of lifting of the inhalation up in the chest that is done by the position like this, and the head moved backward. This is difficult from how it's generally done in Hatha Yoga, that is more done like this and like this. There are several variations. There is also this one, but it's not one of the most common. The other is to bend like this, and do it in this way. I prefer moving a little forward and having the arm stretched because the Chun cell in this way, I anchor the hands on the floor and really can really compact the position and having a very nice Chun cell, a very nice control of the open hold. Regarding the open hold, when you exhale, should be free, like when we do the first or the movement, that when you exhale, after the open hold and the Chun cell, but the throat is not blocked, the breath just smoothen out. I don't know if it exists in English, this word. It's just smoothly entering into exhalation. The same thing should be there. If you are like this and hear yourself when you say going, any kind of similar sounds of this range and nature, it means was not open. In order to be sure it's really open, you should really stretch well, like here. You should really stretch well, let the shoulder not closed, and then you remain really, and when you exhale, it's very smooth and quick because it's in 2 counts. Then 2 relaxed counts in empty hold, and then inhale and exhale coming back. Okay, let's do it once, at least. Sitting on your heels, remember feet together. I say what we do. In, out, forehead on the ground, arms in front. Finish the exhalation, chin down. Inhale, coming up in 4 counts. Chun cell open hold. 4 counts. Exhale, 2 counts. Empty, 2 counts. Arms back. Inhale, 4 counts. And exhale, 4 counts. Now we do 1 time without me saying anything. Let's center a moment. In. Out. In. Open hold, Chun cell. Out. Empty. In. Out. I said I wouldn't do anything and then I didn't resist. Now we do last time, I don't say anything. Only in. In. Okay. So this is the Cobra, the first yantra of the second group for the open hold. I think we look at it pretty well, I hope. And now we exhale 7 times forcefully and completely, and then we relax a moment. Okay, move a little bit. Roll. Sit. And we are finished for today. Thank you very much. See you the next session. Have a nice day.